Yo, welcome back to the Fighters Block. This Ant. I'm with my man P. We doing a little post-fight talk. Kell Brook, Errol Spence. Just giving our final thoughts on the fight. Talking about Kell Brook's heart, who Errol Spence should face next. So tune in and make sure you subscribe.
Last Saturday, the Kell Brook and Errol Spence fight went down. Errol Spence, he was able to put on a pretty strong performance. He pretty much pulled off an upset to the people in the UK by stopping Kell Brook in 11 rounds. And once you go back and look, our little prediction, it pretty much kind of went the way I felt it was going to go. Errol Spence, he dominated. He had his moments where he dominated with his power, but Kell Brook did, like you said, he did show the high IQ. He was kind of able to outbox Errol Spence at moments. And a lot of people were saying before the stoppage he was ahead. What did you think, man? Like, what did you think of Errol Spence's performance?
Overall, I think it was a good fight. I expected a little bit more out of both fighters, but I think it was a good fight. And Errol Spence, he proved that he does have the goods. It's not speculation anymore. It's not rumors. In there with a big 147 champion. Was it an easy task for him? No. Kell Brook is a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. So, the first half of the fight, Errol Spence did a lot, I guess, adjusting. And after he got in his rhythm, he kind of, changed the tide of the fight. My thing is, it's just in the last two performances by Kell Brook, we haven't been able to see his full potential, and that kind of sucks, because he's a good boxer. He was in the fight the whole fight. Never was he, out of the fight. But he suffered another injury to his other eye, a very serious injury, and he was forced pretty much to take the knee. But Errol Spence, like I say, he put on a solid performance. He didn't tie. He looked stronger as the fight went on, and he just rose to the occasion. So I'll be curious to see what's next for him.
Oh yeah, because I know a lot of people were saying after the fight, Errol Spence was kind of, again, like they tried to say with Joshua, he was exposed. But going in this fight, you already knew that Kell Brook, he was the better boxer. And hardcore fans, they know that Kell Brook was going to go in as the seasoned guy. And we all knew that Errol Spence, his plan and his best plan to execute was to use his youth and his hunger and his strength. Because I already felt myself he's not going to go in there and outbox Kell Brook. He's going to get shown up as far as some of the skills. It's going to be up to him to use his fundamentals and put together, the strengths that he has, which are his body punching, and using his power to the best of his advantage. Because to me, whenever people say oh, Errol Spence ain't got the skill to hang, we already kind of knew he didn't. He's still a young guy that's kind of building his skill. In boxing, skill is something you build over the years. Mm-hmm. Taking on different opposition. And he's already stated before that he knows Kell Brook is going to be his toughest fight. That's going to be his toughest fight. So he knew that it's just going to help him grow in the long run. So
and not to cut you off, but in Errol Spence's defense, on paper, Kell Brook was the better boxer because of, what we've seen from him. But, we can't forget that Spence has been in there with Floyd. And, Badu Jack just did a video saying that Errol Spence gave Floyd all he could handle. So that's another person, validating the story. So, I mean, Floyd's faced a guy with power before. It was more than the power. What was different about Errol Spence that, you know what I'm saying? It gave Floyd problems. I mean, so the kid is special. He has something. I mean, he's still formulating and putting everything together, but task last Saturday, and I mean, he found a way to get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, a way to get it done. Simple as that.
And something, he definitely silenced him about is like calling him Jeff Lacy. Comparing him to Jeff Lacy, it's just wrong, because it's like you said, like, he has something more than power, because you definitely see, like, he's been there with Floyd. He stopped Broner and sparring. He's definitely a guy that is more than power, because you could tell he is soaking it up. Whatever he's learning, he's soaking it up. And he's fighting with a more methodical style. Like, even if you look at the body punching, he knows he has the power to knock somebody out, hit up to the head, but he's going, he's body. He's going to the body all night against Kell Brook, setting up punches to the body, Like, if you just look at him, he could go up top, but he just wants to make sure he's really tearing you up, Like, when he fought Algieri, it was an easy fight. Bundu, that was an easy fight. Kell Brook, it took some time, but once you put all those pieces together, he was doing it every round. He was doing something to try to break Kell Brook down. A lot of people saying, okay, he get outboxed, but he's still doing something in there that apparently worked. Because, by 7, 8, 9, Kell Brook looked worn out to me. He might have been ahead, but he was worn out.
Well, to be honest, the scorecards actually had Errol Spence like a way ahead.
Oh, did they?
when they called the fight. Yeah, I'm surprised to see that. But the thing is, for me, is it's no other way to say it. It just sucks for me. It just sucks the injury, because the injury would have pulled it out, but we could have seen a different type of fight. I mean, you having a bad injury on top of taking the body punishment. I mean, it just all added to a bad night. You know what I'm saying? But I really would just see this guy perform with 2 eyes. I mean, we know he's not going to quit on his own. I mean, he's not going to quit because he's losing. He's not going to quit because he's bleeding.
Right.
The reason he quit, it had to be serious. I mean, and I would have liked to see this go the distance, because the tide was turning. But like I say, Kell he's a warrior. He wasn't out of the fight. I mean, anything can happen. It was still 4 rounds. I mean, 2, 3 rounds left. So I mean, anything can happen. But
round he'll have that's what I'm saying. Like, because he dropped to his knee in the 11th. Do you think if he would have got back up and finished the 12th round, do you think he kind of cost himself a decision? Because I mean, this is a UK crowd. Do you think he could have got up and still won?
I don't, and definitely now seeing seeing the scorecards after the fight. I mean, he definitely would not have won. But
yeah,
the thing is, I honestly believe, and without capping in round 7, I don't see him taking a knee. I see those rounds playing out. Maybe he would have got knocked out. Maybe he would have been wide open and, winging. He would have, I don't know. But I think it would have been more of a fight had not those injuries. I mean, people got to realize, okay, when he first get hit and he feels this pain in his mind, he's thinking, here we go again. Or is it the same thing? People got to realize that too. I mean, this guy just went through the same thing 5 months ago. You know what I mean? It's some of that stuff is psychological too. I mean, thinking, okay, is it broken or is it just bruised or it feels kind of, you know what I mean? You're thinking about that, Ant.
Yeah.
You're definitely thinking about that, because that could stop a fight. It's like the guy who cuts real easy and he gets a little nick on the corner of his eye. He's constantly worried about that cut, because I mean, a couple more hits, they're going to stop the fight. So it's kind of that same thing, you know. And I don't know. And then the vision too, man. He said he was seeing double. I don't know, a fracture like that. I don't know what impairs your vision, but I just, like I say, it just sucks that he had to get that injury, and I wish we could have just seen these two guys just go all 12. I mean, like I said from day one, I am an Earl, and you know what I mean. And I just felt like, okay, this is going to put everybody to the test. This is going to see what Earl was made of. This is going to see what Kell is made of. Because I wasn't always a fan of Kell. I didn't really sure about him until the Golovkin fight. So, Errol Spence, he's looking like, the future 147. I mean, we got Thurman out there, but
I like we were talking about the other day, like I kind of, I'm a Keith Thurman fan, but I'm also a Errol Spence fan. I'm a fan of both of them, but I kind of think that the Thurman fight might be a little bit tougher, just because I feel like Keith Thurman, I think he's a smarter fighter than Kell Brook. And if he watches this fight, he's going to really soak up what happened in this fight and really try to come up with a game plan for Errol Spence. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win. But I think that he's going to come up with some type of plan to try and not fall into that body, that target, get hit in the body, because we know he gets, off from the past. He's seen him get hurt to the body a few times. So, and I don't think he's going to take that chance like Porter, like letting Porter get on that inside fight game, because he knows that Spence hits harder than Porter.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like he can make it a little bit more interesting than Kell Brook did. I think Kell Brook really had that physical size that kind of helped him withstand so much punishment, which is, like you said, I did hate that he had the broken eye socket, because he couldn't really, exude himself like he wanted to.
Right.
He couldn't really put on the performance that he wanted. Because, after that Golovkin fight, having it broken the first time definitely put some psych in his mind where he was thinking about the whole fight, and then that it happened again. It happened again.
Exactly. I mean, there's no excuses, but that is a bad injury, and I mean, if we could have had a perfect day, it wouldn't have happened, and these guys could have just, went all the way. Now, but back to Keith Thurman, and this is my only thing. I'm curious to how he wins that fight. I mean, outboxing him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to knock him out. That's not going to happen. So he's just going to be able to outbox Errol Spence. I'm just asking.
I think looking at Thurman in the past and looking at some of the things Errol Spence does, I had to be real in what I seen. Like, I really feel like Errol Spence needs to move his head more. And when your head is like straight up like that, he was tagging Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is a straight up fighter too, that likes to just stand straight. And Thurman was tagging him with those punches, when he was on the inside before he started backpedaling. Like, when he was in there, he was tagging him, looping shots. So Errol Spence, he kind of stays right in that target area where he throws those looping punches. Like, now I don't know if he can knock him out. But he could definitely counter him a few times and make him respect him. Because I just feel like there were some points when he was jabbing with Kell Brook. He would jab and kind of bring his hand back slow, and Kell Brook was already there in his face jabbing him back.
Yeah.
So I think that, I just feel like Keith Thurman kind of looks at those little things like that. But again, it could be to that thing where Errol Spence is just too hungry, too strong, and that sight could just break down Thurman already. He's just gonna just not even give Thurman a chance to set anything up, and he could just make it an interesting fight.
It's going to be an interesting fight, and I mean, in the aspect that you just got these young guys. We're not used to seeing these guys this young being champions and fighting.
Yeah,
we're not used to
them saying, "I want this guy." You know what I mean? We're not used to seeing them say, "Oh, I want him next." They usually are fighting the bum, fighting the next guy. They're not fighting, each other.
So the fact, like, to me, that we getting best facing the best. These guys, it's a lot of pressure to perform, and it's just like, I mean, who's going to handle that pressure the best that night? I mean, we just had to see, because I mean, Spence wants to win, Keith Thurman wants to win, prove he is the best. Welter. A lot of pressure because both of them want to win. So, I mean, it should be a good fight, man. I mean, like you say, I mean, Keith Thurman is the better boxer, but it's just like he gonna have a big job cut out for him. Because think about it, all it takes is one punch. I mean, round 7 he hit him one time, and that eye was broke. So that power is something to be reckoned with,
man. Yeah, his power. Spence's power is definitely more so present than Keith Thurman's, because like I've seen Keith Thurman stop some dudes before, but sometimes some guys can last longer with him. But when it comes to Spence, it just seems like when he hits a guy that their whole game plan changes. It
does, because it's that different power, and it's that Golovkin power.
Yeah, it's
a lot of who can hit. It's a lot of 147s who can hit, but then it's the ones who got that like a skinny guy that still can pick up a damn car, and what I'm saying, ain't got nothing to do with his physique. It's just just genetic, strong or whatever. And I think Errol Spence is one of them people, because for him to give Floyd some problems, he must have popped Floyd a couple times and had Floyd. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, it's something that he got that different type of power. Now, Keith Thurman probably got the the regular 147 in shape, lifting weights type of power, but it's gonna be I think it's a little different touch from Errol Spence. I really do. You know what I mean? I mean, because like you say, you just see it, man. You see certain guys hit guys, and you see how guys respond. When they, I've seen guys grimace and do different things and take knees, and you know what I'm saying. So
there's like, it's either two ways they're gonna act with that kind of power. They either going to show it or their body's going to show it. Like with Kell Brook, he withstood it, but his eye socket couldn't. Like
damage in his heart. His heart was there, but the body armor just got dismantled.
Your body armor just dismantled. Your body armor told you to shut it down, stop.
Yeah, basically. But you need that, man, because some of these guys are gonna go out on their shield, because they warriors. That's what they've been doing for 30 years, fighting. That's all they know.
Yeah.
So some of these guys, they're gonna go out there and go out on a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need these people to protect you, and you need things to happen to help you put things in perspective. So, but
so
like I say, overall, I mean, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So as far as Kell Brook's heart, can you question it? Like me, I can't question it, man. I can't say it doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, some people, everybody got an opinion. Some people gonna say he's a quitter, this, that, and the third. Me personally, I mean, I can't question his heart, because if it comes to my life, as opposed to me, my life, and which affects my kids and my wife and stuff like that, then I'm gonna make that same choice. Exactly. If it's my fans, my fans, they gonna be on the next big thing next year. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's all it's for, and it's the fans.
Yeah.
When you in there risking something, you know, your mother, you ain't in there fighting for your mother. Your mother is not saying, baby, don't quit. She not saying that. Trust me.
Yeah, no.
Likely. So, you know, you're not doing it for your family per se. You know what I mean? So,
Because for me, it's like one thing when a fighter doesn't answer the bell just because he feels like I can't get off on this guy. I can't get anything to work. So I'm going to just stop halfway through. You know, Kell Brook, he gave it everything he could, you know, he gave it his all up until around 11 when he was like, okay, it's not worth my vision, you know.
and think about it too, Ant. So, round 11, it got broken in round 7. That's 4 rounds of Errol Spence touching, tenderizing this super, super probably sensitive, painful area. I mean, for 4 rounds, he's touching on it, working on it.
That he just pretty much had broken previous fight.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, just looking at it, you could see it was kind of something different going on. It wasn't just a typical puffy eye. It was very grotesque looking. You know what I mean? Which, you know, you could tell when some fighters are just quitting. You know what I mean? We was looking at him like this could be serious. You know what I mean? When I seen his eye, I was definitely like, that don't look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, can we question his heart after he just got in there with the 2 boogeymen of the boxing game, Triple G and Errol Spence? No, by no means can we question his heart.
No.
You know, I mean, if anything, he did the smart thing. You know, that the corner didn't have to throw in the towel. Nobody had to stop it. He took a knee and pretty much said, "Hey, wait and hold." You know, I had enough. You
Right.
know, because you a lot of fighters that will honestly do that. You know, some of them will lie and quit before his time or stay in there too long. But he was just honest with himself and said, "Man, okay, this is enough."
Yeah. And I
You
mean,
know, this.
that's real.
You
I
know,
mean, there's
that's
injuries.
real. That's real.
Yeah, there's injuries you can fight through.
Man, I still wasn't getting blown out. He still had a chance to win the fight. It wasn't like he was like, "Man, let me quit. I ain't got no chance to win it." That wasn't the case.
No.
You know, he make something happen. So I mean, that was just being real, and that was honest to him. And I mean, you can't knock a man for being honest, saying, "Look, man, I'm in severe pain right now. You know, and it's just time." I mean, you know when the time is the time. You know
Yeah.
that better than anybody. So.
Yeah. Because like you mentioned before, with Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, the detached retina. I know other guy, Julian Jackson, he had it too. You know, vision is important. And your eyes never gonna be the same. Like you can fight through broken jaws, fight through broken hands, but when it comes to your vision, you know, that decides it all. You know, you can adapt to a fight with a broken hand, but when it comes to your vision, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, if he felt like he had to quit or just stop, you know, he had to stop.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, you working with one eye. Okay, in the car with 2 eyes, you got a blind spot.
Yeah.
What happens in the boxing ring with one eye? And you think it's no blind spots? You know what I mean? So how you are guaranteed to lose pretty much. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's punches coming that you cannot see. You're not
Right.
going to be able to see. So I mean, like we say, man, you know, it was a terrible, terrible injury. It sucks that he had to go through that again, man. You know, he seemed like a good dude, you know, but it
Yeah.
just one of them things, man. I mean, for Floyd, brittle hands. I mean, people got these things that, you know, alter their careers.
Yeah.
You know,
And you know what sucks with his is like, yeah, it deals with his vision. Like, yeah, Floyd had brittle hands, but he adapted again. Like, he came up with a brilliant style as far as his defense, just to be able to not be able to keep his hands all the way to the end. But like with your eyes, for Kell Brook, we don't even know like if he. To me, I don't even know if he should fight again. You know, that's how deep it is for me. Like he says, talking about coming back to 154. But I feel like he should take a year off at least and then just think about it, you know?
definitely take some time off, man. And to be honest, if he is financially in a decent place, man, think about looking into some other avenues, some different aspects of the game, promotion, managing something, because it ain't worth your health, man. It ain't worth your life. If you got money in the bank and you doing all right, look into some other things.
Yeah, he like chocolate brownie so much he need to start a cake mix or something, man. Start a bakery or something.
Brooks Brownies. I want my cut, Kel, when that blow
Shit.
up, man. But yeah, I mean, that's how I would look at it, though, Ant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I don't know his financial situation. I mean, I would presume is decent, but I don't know. So that you know, you never know with people's situation. You know, so but if he was in a good place, I would definitely take a year off, fully heal up, man. Did he even really fully heal from the Triple G fight? You know, I mean, everybody say yeah to get a paycheck, and hey,
Yeah.
doctor, I look the trainer, do I look, yeah, everybody say yeah to get paid, but
Even
you know,
that's the bad part. Even his own trainer didn't say, "Hey, man, Spence, this dude hit hard." Even his trainer didn't say, "Okay, we need to wait." His own trainer gave him that hope that, hey, you can beat this guy.
yeah, that you know, so that I mean, and that's kind of how it is, man. It's sad but
I hope
true.
he does have enough money just to take care of himself, because your trainers and all of that, when it all go down, you'll see if there's real loyalty. Sometimes they ain't gonna be there for you. They're gonna put you in those situations because they need your money. So
Right.
me personally, yeah, I would like to see him take a year off, and if he feels that I ain't ready, he just need to hang it up.
Right. Yeah, that's how I feel, man. I
Yeah.
mean.
All right, well, just stay tuned and make sure you guys subscribe to the Fighters Block. Peace.